Piccolo's height and power helps stop another threat on Earth, but also opens the door for Piccolo to do some sort of new training. Now with Piccolo going to train under the Supreme Kai, what kind of new powers is he going to unlock this way? And what's going to come as a result of it? We'll be seeing all that and more in this part 3 of What If Piccolo Was the Strongest. Now, just as Shin hoped, Piccolo tries to pull the Z-Sword, and it's actually not too tough for him to do so. At first, he is surprised at how difficult it is, but once he powers up into his power awakened state, he has more than enough strength to actually pull it from there. And the craziest part is, he's able to start swinging it around immediately. He does see some pretty quick gains from it, eventually even being able to swing it just in his base state. Although, at this point, he starts seeing diminishing gains. At some point, it's so easy to swing around that he's not really gaining too much from it. And unlike Goku or Gohan, Piccolo's a lot more careful with it, recognizing it as a sacred thing. He is part kami after all. He understands the importance of preserving godly things like this. So, Elder Kai's not going to come out of the sword and do a ritual on Piccolo. He already has his own power awakened form anyways, even if it is different. But Elder Kai's remaining in there for now. Because by the time Piccolo even does think to try and swing the Z-Sword against Mkachin or whatever, he already feels like he's not growing enough from it anymore. But he still has other great training too. As a Namekian, he knows he's pretty adept with magic. Or at least can be pretty adept with it. He's seen what other Namekians are capable of, and he does have some of his own weird abilities. But how about applying that to combat somehow? Yeah, he has magic like the Clothes Beam or whatever, but that's not going to help him in a battle. What about learning from Shin and Kibito, people who actually use magic for things other than changing clothes? And they wonder how Piccolo will do with it, because he is a warrior Namekian rather than a Dragon Clan one. But he also has a Dragon Clan Namekian within him, and he originally was split from a Dragon Clan Namekian. He's a very unique case and isn't a normal Namekian by any means. He's basically got both in there. So he tries training with this, seeing where it's going to take him. And he stays here for a while. Back on Earth, nobody really knows where Piccolo is, but he's pretty fine up here. And this separation from Earth is going to cause some issues later on. Piccolo is making sure to watch over it. Just in case there are any threats, he will be able to get back there. One of the first things he learned from Shin and Kibito was the Kai Kai. That's going to be pretty useful. He knew that Kami had some sort of ability to teleport, but it was pretty limited to Earth. And it wasn't too useful, but it did make Piccolo realize that maybe if he learned some sort of new teleportation, that would really help, especially if it's something like Goku's instant transmission. Although the Kai Kai, he likes that a lot better. But no threats do come to Earth. Instead, one comes to the sacred world of Kais. We move into Battle of Gods. Beerus has a different dream this time. He doesn't dream of a Super Saiyan God. Rather, he has a different prophecy. He still does dream of encountering a rival, but this rival's different. He actually can't really tell who it is, he just sees a shadowy figure. He sees pointy ears and antenna. The silhouette kinda looks like a Namekian, but right before this dream ends, this Namekian powers up, surrounded by a fierce orange glow. It doesn't seem to be any sort of godly ability that this Namekian is showing, but still, it's a rival for him. When he wakes up, he immediately goes to Whis, telling him about this prophecy. He saw a Namekian warrior, surrounded by a strange orange glow. Luckily for Beerus, there are a lot of Namekians left, including warriors. So naturally, he goes over to planet Namek. He was telling Whis, he wasn't sure if this was a divine form or something, but it's worth looking into. Maybe the Namekians do know something. When he gets there, some actually do know of his existence, showing respect immediately, with him talking to the new elder, Mori. He asks if they know who Namek's strongest warrior is, and on top of that, if there's any divine powers within that warrior. Mori says he doesn't know about any Namekians that are on Beerus' level with divine powers like that, but he does know who the strongest warrior is, although he's not on this planet. It's a warrior named Piccolo, one from planet Earth, but he hasn't seen this warrior in a while. They have no clue where he is or what he's up to now. So this is kind of a surprising answer to Beerus. For one, he knew the Namekians were actually kind of a peaceful race. They're pretty pacifist, even though they do have warriors, but more surprisingly, the warrior isn't even here. It's a Namekian that didn't grow up here. So he asks Whis to help locate this Namekian. And Whis comes up with something pretty interesting. But before he could speak, somebody then teleports in. It's Piccolo. Shin and Kibito knew that Beerus woke up, and they told Piccolo he was on Namek for some reason, and Piccolo immediately headed over. Whis was about to say he found Piccolo in the sacred world of Kais, but he came here somehow. Okay, that's two pretty interesting things for Beerus. He was training with the Kais, and he could teleport. This guy's already shaping up to be something great. And he didn't hesitate to meet Beerus either. He came directly to him. The other Namekians are amazed to see Piccolo. They could sense his power overflowing. He truly is the pinnacle of a Namekian warrior. And Piccolo apologized for causing any trouble, even if he didn't directly cause Beerus to come here. But they say it's no problem, they're just glad to see him. He says he'll be back here eventually to visit, but he turns to Beerus. He'll definitely be able to show Beerus some of his power, and they can even spar, but this isn't the place to fight. Beerus is glad that this guy doesn't mince words. He doesn't even seem to be scared of Beerus. It's confidence, not cockiness, and he likes this guy's confidence. So he goes along with Piccolo. Beerus does tell Piccolo though, they were about to come to him anyways, and they just go to the sacred world of Kais, a planet that could actually handle their fighting. Beerus greets Shin, surprised that he took a mortal as a student, especially a Namekian of all people. They're pacifists. And Piccolo asks Beerus why he sought out Namek in the first place, and Beerus explains. So Piccolo gives a backstory about his power, and even showcases some of it. Beerus apparently dreamt of some sort of Namekian coated with an orange key, and when he powers up he's coated by a yellowish key. And Piccolo tells Beerus he doesn't have any godly form as far as he knows, but as a student of Akai, he has developed some sort of godly ki and has the ability to sense it a little bit, but he has no godly forms. And this form that Beerus is looking at, it wasn't what he imagined. It's almost orange, and it is strong, but it's not what he was thinking of. And he really wants to know what that rival that he dreamt of was. It clearly was a Namekian, but in a different form. It might have not even been a godly form, he doesn't know. But he can tell he's in the right place with Piccolo. No other Namekian is even close to the level that he's at. And maybe what he dreamt of was some sort of evolution in power for Piccolo. But he asks Piccolo, show him his power. The two of them briefly battle. Piccolo actually puts up a really good fight. Beerus heavily holds back, of course, but Piccolo is actually able to land some hits on Beerus. Beerus can see that this guy's got potential. I mean, that's what his form is all about after all, drawing out that insane potential he has. So he makes an offer to Piccolo, and Shin's gonna want to hear this too. He's intrigued by his power, and he tells Piccolo he'll help him unlock a new power, but in return, he expects to see an incredibly powerful rival. Piccolo doesn't really know what to say. He's been training here with the Kais, and he knows that's been useful for him. Although, Shin suggests that Piccolo goes along with it. Piccolo has grown a lot here, but Shin doesn't know how much more he could teach him. He's grown so quickly that he pretty much learned everything he needs to. He has been here for a few years after all. He could learn a lot more under Whis maybe. And besides, Shin would be happy to see his student grow even more powerful, even if it means training under a different master. Well, that settles it. Piccolo goes off to Beerus' planet, training under Whis now, with Beerus happy that he has a new rival, or at least is working on getting a new rival. And yeah, like I said, nothing happens on Earth. There's no battle of gods like normal because Beerus just found Piccolo, and there's no word of a Super Saiyan god either. But what is happening on Earth? It has been a few years, so maybe we should cover some of the stuff. Well, back on Earth, Vegeta's still pushing himself to be the strongest, same with Trunks, but wonders where Piccolo is and what he's up to. And Gohan has kind of slacked off a bit, but thanks to his great potential, he's still able to keep up. Vegeta still does have that focus on surpassing Piccolo, and with him training so intensely for this, Trunks kind of picks up on it too. Goku is pretty much Goku, he's not going to stop training regardless. Even if Gohan and Goten might slack off a bit here and there, he's definitely not. And Goku actually pursues a different method. At some point he decides to go to King Kai. It's been a while since he's seen him. Remember, Goku never died in the scenario against Cell. Outside of him seeing King Kai when he went to get Dende, the last time he saw King Kai was during the Saiyan saga. That's when they last trained. So maybe he could try and revisit something like Kaioken again, combining that with whatever current forms he has. He can tell there's a way to surpass Super Saiyan 2, but what about going a different route? That's why he goes to King Kai, beginning to train there again. Everyone on Earth continues life, not even knowing what Piccolo's doing. They know he's okay, but they just hope he visits eventually. It's been a while since they've seen him. But they know he's probably watching over. He wouldn't have just left if he's not going to watch over here. They know the vow he made to protect Earth, and they also know they can defend themselves too if any threats do occur. That is one of the points that Piccolo made too. He wanted to make sure everyone else was strong as well. But yeah, this means no godly forms for Goku or Vegeta yet. Although, these two and Gohan discover Super Saiyan 3, while also discovering the downsides of Super Saiyan 3. And that's exactly why Goku's pursuing a different method of training. Vegeta recognized the flaws in it and doesn't really like the form, but wonders if he could somehow perfect it. As for Goku, he goes back to Super Saiyan 2. He already has an amazing control on that, so what about maybe combining Kaioken with it? And Gohan actually follows Vegeta's path. He doesn't know Kaioken, and it's not like he's gonna go to King Kai to learn it. Maybe he can improve this form somehow too. There is a perfect test of power eventually. At some point, Shenron is summoned. They don't know who summoned him, but they just know he's summoned. And now, we're in Resurrection F. How are they supposed to stack up against Frieza though? Well, there's a few things that are working in their favor. Even though they haven't encountered any threats in a while, they've grown way stronger than they were in the last saga. Even though it's not on the level of gods. So eventually, the Frieza Force shows up on Earth. There's 3 people there spearheading it. Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta, with Goten and Trunks fighting alongside them. Remember, these two are actually a little bit more involved. And they even have Super Saiyan 2 by now. Plus, the humans are there as well. It's not too hard to fight off the army, but Frieza himself, he might be a problem. Goku can immediately tell. He's far stronger than before. Frieza glares at Goku, the one who defeated him before. And that child he sees, Trunks, that looks like the one that killed him a while back too. But he's a kid now, somehow? Well, whatever. 2 birds with 1 stone. Plus, he'll kill Vegeta while he's at it, and everyone here on Earth. But his first form's definitely not going to be enough. He immediately goes into his final form. This should be more than enough. Frieza tells them, while this is the same form as before, he's grown much stronger since then, and he could tell they have too in Super Saiyan. Goku laughs. He could tell Frieza's a lot stronger, but Frieza doesn't know that they've ascended Super Saiyan by now. Multiple times, actually. Frieza doubts this, but Goku decides to show it off, going right into Super Saiyan 2, with the other Saiyans transforming as well. A brief one-on-one ensues between Goku and Frieza is impressed by Goku's strength. He can't hide that, but he does know that he's going to win here. He's grown stronger in this form, of course, but he has something beyond it as well. It's going to be the last thing they'll witness, and they're going to love how it looks. He shows off his brand new golden form, and this is actually kind of a problem. No one here knows if they're going to be strong enough to counter this, but Vegeta and Gohan power up, showing Super Saiyan 3, with a red aura then surrounding Goku. Super Saiyan 2 with Kaioken. As for Vegeta and Gohan, they've completely mastered Super Saiyan 3, overcoming its glaring flaws, but that doesn't mean it's a perfect form because it still is their strongest form, so it takes stamina to use. As for Goku, well, Kaioken has his own drawbacks obviously, but Super Saiyan 2, he's perfectly fine with that. And even though the three are using different powers, they're kind of on equal footing. The completed Super Saiyan 3 that Vegeta and Gohan have is similar to the boost that Goku's getting with Kaioken on Super Saiyan 2. Since it's a higher boost than regular Super Saiyan 3, and Goku's not using Kaioken to an insanely high level, the 5 Saiyans all begin fighting Frieza. Goku knows this can't be a one-on-one, and Vegeta recognizes that too as much as he hates this Saiyan. But for some reason, Goku's still not too concerned, and Vegeta doesn't really know why, but Gohan can kind of assume. And then it hits Vegeta. He knows why Kakarot's so confident, but he doubts that's gonna work, and he knows he's not gonna be involved with that. Golden Frieza is able to overpower all 5 of the Saiyans at once, but Goku can pick up on something. As long as they buy time, they'll be fine. Frieza is quickly losing energy, and with the trump card that Goku has in mind, this will be even better. They play it out for a bit. The fight is tough, but Frieza made a mistake by not killing them right away. His energy is rapidly diminishing, and the same goes for the Saiyans, but Goku knows a way to finish this. He's not sure if it's a surefire method, but it is their best shot at winning here. They didn't realize Frieza grew this powerful, and Frieza is elated. And Goku looks at Vegeta. He asks him to hold off Frieza just for a little bit, distract him for a bit. Vegeta knows he's not going to be able to fight Frieza alone, but he can probably hold him off. If he summons all of his strength, he can at least buy them some time, giving Frieza a bluff. And Goku then looks at Gohan. He knows what he has in mind, doesn't he? Goku grabs onto Gohan and instant transmissions away, going over to where Krillin is. Vegeta briefly holds off Frieza, and Frieza loves this. He doesn't even pay attention to those other 2 kids there. He's just glad that he can best Vegeta once again. And Vegeta tells Frieza not to get too cocky. There's a reason he's fighting Frieza alone. There's a huge burst of energy nearby, and everyone senses a different power. Someone then teleports in once more. It looks like Goku, but also like Gohan. In his hand are 2 Senzu beans. He throws one at Vegeta, and then eats one for himself. The man introduces himself as Gokan, the fusion of Goku and Gohan. Frieza doesn't get what happened. They fused? Well, yeah. While in Otherworld, Goku was able to learn some other techniques. King Kai already taught him everything that he could know. And while he did practice with Kaioken more, he decided to learn some other things in Otherworld too. He didn't have those same 7 years that he did originally, but King Kai did suggest some new things for him because Goku wanted to learn other techniques. And he was able to meet some other warriors in Otherworld, learning this new thing. Vegeta didn't really like the fusion dance, but Goku had to practice it with Gohan, just in case. And he knows this is a surefire way to defeat Frieza, immediately then powering up into Super Saiyan 3. And he sees a clear opening. Frieza's already lost a lot of energy. And with Gohan at full strength now, he can make this quick. He kinda needs to make this quick because he knows Super Saiyan 3 is gonna run out the fusion regardless of how good he is with it. There's still the Goku side who hasn't really mastered it just yet. And to make things even worse for Frieza, another power then surges nearby. Vegeta can't believe they did that stupid dance too. But Goten and Trunks have fused. Now it's Gotenks also going into Super Saiyan 3, jumping in with Gokan. Vegeta doesn't stop fighting either. Frieza's facing less people now, but he's facing stronger fighters, and he can feel himself getting tired out. But Gokan tells everyone, one final push, that's all they need. Vegeta's power soars once more, same for Gotenks. Gotenks then creates some galactic donuts, throwing them around Frieza, and Frieza's able to break out of them pretty quickly, but it allows Vegeta to attack in the meantime, with him then creating the same thing, and the 2 continue binding Frieza, with a bunch of rings of energy surrounding him, as the 2 constantly barrage him with it. Gokan gets ready for his final attack. He charges a powerful Kamehameha. And just to put a little extra power into it, his aura flares up once more. The aura of Kaioken surrounds him. He knows he's gonna defuse after this attack anyways, so why not put his full strength into it just to assure they win? This is a fused father and son Kamehameha, empowered by Super Saiyan 3 and Kaioken. It's launched directly at Frieza. He's able to finally break free of the galactic donuts, but it's already too late. The beam hits him head on, with devastating power. Immediately after launching it, Goku and Gohan defuse. And in the aftermath, there's a mangled Frieza, still in golden, but in a terrible state. He almost looks like he did on Namek. They're surprised he's even still alive. He then powers down, not able to maintain the golden form anymore. He collapses to the ground, and looks up, seeing Vegeta standing over him. What a nice present for him. Vegeta's the one to finish him off. With a simple Big Bang attack, he eradicates what's left of Frieza. That was way too close for comfort, but thankfully, they're able to come out victorious. Back on Beerus' planet, Piccolo's in the middle of his training, and Whis seems to be enjoying something. He's watching something through his staff, and Piccolo asks what's going on. His jaw drops when he hears that Frieza returned, stronger than before, and he almost killed everyone on Earth. Why didn't Whis tell him? Earth could have been destroyed. He needs to go back and help them. But Whis says it's all okay. And these mortals actually seem decently strong. They're able to handle their own. But this does kind of put things in perspective for Piccolo. He should have noticed that amazing increase in power. And Whis said if there were an issue, he would have informed Piccolo. But he knew that Frieza wasn't going to win there. Although Piccolo's still kind of angered by this. He remembers back to the vow he made. He does have to keep Earth safe. It's his responsibility. But at the same time, he did want to make sure the others were strong too, and, well, they were able to handle it on their own. But he also does see now. He's neglected them for so long. He's been back to Earth a few times, but ever since he went to Beerus' planet, he hasn't been since. Maybe it's about time he returns. And this is where we'll leave off for now. What do you guys think about this part? What kind of new powers will Piccolo have now? And what about everyone on Earth? Where are they going next? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps with the channel and shows me you want to see more like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.